Hey, good morning. So I thought I would share a little bit more about the process of creating the book Fruitful Leadership, and then give you the introduction of the book. So it wasn't so hard to write the book because I have a daily quiet time anyway. So when I sat in my quiet time with the fruit of the Spirit, man, most of the time, okay, not every day, but most of the time I got a great download from God's for the things that I could write. The other process that was a little bit more difficult was adding leadership concepts to each one of the days, but it worked. So the editing process was next, and that was kind of fun because I had this editor that, and I need some props right here. So I had, oh, here we go. So I had this editor that she was really, really good, as you'll find out when you read the book. But we had these arguments over, it's my book, this is the way that I want it. This is me. No, this is me, right? It's my book, this is the way that I want it. And she was like, if I'm going to edit this book, then this is the way that it has to be. So we had this one argument about the capitalizing of Satan. I do not want you to capitalize his name because he does not warrant that respect. But correctly written, Satan's name is capitalized. I don't care. So we went on and on and on about this. And finally, she said to me, well, I said, it's my book. And she said, but if my name is going to be on the editor of your book, Satan is going to be capitalized. And I said, okay, then you are going to have to footnote that that's not the way I want it. So you'll laugh. There's a footnote in my book that says my editor made me do it. So that's that part of the process. And then editing was like, I had to read the book again a couple more times just to make sure that all the edits were perfect. So, hey, Elizabeth and Jim and Linda, hi, how are you? So it finally got edited. I read it a couple of times. Of course, if you're on my email list, you already know about this process because I wrote this process to you. But here is the introduction that I thought that I would read to you today. So some say that the hardest thing to manage is people. I found that the hardest thing to manage is myself. I can be an expert in everyone else's life, but leading my own is challenging. And if I can't lead myself, how can I lead others? The best leaders lead by example, modeling the behavior they desire to see in others. And I wrote this book because I can't think of better characteristics to model than the fruits of the Spirit listed in Galatians 5:22. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Unfortunately, if I'm not walking with the Spirit, I can be judgmental, selfish, impatient, controlling, petty, and snippy. Did I really write that out loud? As if I am queen of my world and everyone else is my subject. A leadership law of magnetism reminds us that we don't attract who we want. We attract who we are. Man, this should really focus our attention on the characteristics we exhibit so that we can attract a higher quality of people into our lives. I mean, it's important that we ask ourselves, who do we attract into our lives and organizations? And more importantly, what are we modeling for our children and the teams that we lead? If I choose moment by moment to walk with the Spirit, I can override my negative characteristics. Okay, this as an aside, not always easy. I wish I could tell you I was perfect at it, but nope. As my son always says, the only time you're going to be perfect is when they put the tombstone on your head, Mom. So the Bible tells us in Romans 12:2, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is the good and acceptable, perfect will of God. I am absolutely sure that being queen of my world is not what is good and acceptable to him, to God, or for those in my sphere of influence either. Well, as much as I would like to be queen of my world. So leadership is influence. We may not want or intend to lead, but every conversation or interaction we have with others is an attempt at influence. Think about it. As parents, we ask our children to make their beds, stand up straight, and use manners. That's influence. We encourage them to choose friends that add value to their lives because there are certain friends that negatively influence them or may negatively influence them. As leaders, we ask our team members to problem solve and take initiative. That's influence. We encourage them to collaborate with other hard workers to achieve more, regardless of the role. We're influencing all the time. So that's the introduction of the book. So tomorrow I'm going to be closer to noon. Today I'm going to be house hunting at noon, and I'll give you another little installment of the book. I'm so excited that you're here watching, Darla and David and the rest of you, because this is really an exciting thing for me. And tomorrow, maybe we'll even have a picture of the book. So stay tuned. Talk to you tomorrow.